Howdy folks, as you probably know if you're bothering to watch this video, periodically I make orders with Mandarake of Japan. The reason why I order from Mandarake is because I have yet to find a reliable Japanese retailer who will accept international orders, who offers a bigger variety of selection. Places like AmiAmi have relatively limited selection. They have a great selection of figures, for example, but if you want other types of stuff, the selection is much smaller. I have tried ordering with Surigaya before, however, their delivery left a lot to be desired, so I don't really trust buying from Surigaya over the mail any longer. Moreover, 2 weeks from this date, as I'm recording this, the weekend of January 7 and 8, 2023, is the second annual St. Petersburg Comic Convention. So I will have a table at that show, and I will be doing 2 panels on Saturday and Sunday. I will be selling a assortment of domestic comic book merchandise, and also a large selection of anime goods, some of which is in this Mandarake order. So if you happen to be in the St. Petersburg, Tampa, Clearwater area 2 weeks from now, I absolutely welcome you to drop by the St. Pete Comic Con. Not a huge convention, it's about a medium-sized comic show, but I would be happy to see any of you should you come in. So I'm going to take a look at what's specifically in this order. This order is in 3 boxes. The total shipping weight for these 3 boxes was just a hair under 100 pounds. There were actually, I didn't count the number of items. However, I did take notes. The total cost for this order in US dollars was just a hair under $1,100. This is part of the reason why I don't make orders very frequently, because I can't afford to make big orders like this very frequently. The merchandise cost with currency exchange was just shy of $600. The shipping cost was just a hair over $500. However, with the number of items, that worked out to about $1.84 per item in shipping. This order arrived in 4 days. So for everything to be packaged securely and to get from Japan to my doorstep in 4 days, I think $1.84 per item in shipping is very reasonable. So at this point, let me stylishly crack open this box. Well, then again, I should probably use a more practical tool for opening this box. A box cutter. And then we'll take a look at exactly what's in this first out of 3 boxes. Now there is a substantial amount of adult doujinshi in here, so even though this video is not monetized, I don't want it to be deleted off YouTube, so I will be reasonably censoring some of the adult imagery. Now, I'll strain myself to get this off the table because it's rather heavy. And no, that's not going to work. Alright. One of the positive things about Mandarake compared to Surigaya is that Mandarake actually packages very deliberately and very carefully so that stuff arrives in good condition. Also, having stuff arrive so quickly helps as well. One of the first things that I see here is, let's see if I can take this out of the bubble wrap so that it's easier to see. This is a set of Cream Lemon trading figures. I don't exactly remember what year these were released in. Does it say? I don't exactly remember what year these were released in. These were, at least 10 years ago. However, some of you that have been in anime for a while will know what the Cream Lemon franchise is. Cream Lemon was the well, depending on how you count it, either the second or the third adult anime video franchise. This is a set of all 5 of the Cream Lemon trading figures. I do have several of these already. However, I did not own a complete set of them. This was 2,500 yen, so about 500 yen per figure. With current currency exchange, that's about, what, $3.50, $4 or so per figure before shipping. So I'm pleased to add to my Cream Lemon collection by having a actual full set of the trading figures. This figure of... I tend to forget which one is RAM and which one is RAM. However, this particular ReZero figure is one that I will be... Alright, this one is clearly RAM, R-E-M. This is one of the figures that I will be taking to the St. Pete Comic Con to offer up for sale. Sorry for the noise distraction. Another item that I'll be taking to the St. Pete Comic Con, because it's a Comic Con, I imagine that there might be some people interested in Japanese Transformers toys. I am slightly disappointed to find that the bubble has slightly come away from the card. However, hopefully this won't be a big deal, because I'm not going to charge a exorbitant price for this. I'll keep the price very reasonable at this show. But hopefully, because it's a Japanese language Transformers figure, I might find somebody interested in it. This Kimetsu no Yaiba Tanjiro figure is part of a set. There are actually a matching pair of Tanjiro and why did her name suddenly slip my mind? And Nezuko figures. I have one, actually I think I have 2 of the Nezuko figure. I was hoping to get 2 of these Tanjiro figures so I could put one in my collection and have one pair to sell at the show. However, I was only able to acquire 1 of them, so this one is going to stay in my personal collection. I don't know, of course, because I can't predict the future, whether anyone at this St. Pete comic show will have any interest at all in Japanese exclusive comic toys. However, because these were especially inexpensive, I picked these up. I believe these were 100 yen, 200 yen, 300, no, okay. In US dollars, these were roughly $2 and $2.50 a piece or so. Even with shipping, these ended up costing me about $5 a piece. These are Avengers Disc Wars toys. Avengers Disc Wars was the Avengers anime television series that was a Japanese exclusive. So these are Marvel superhero Japanese exclusive toys. So I'm hoping that perhaps someone at the show might find these interesting or unique and be willing to pay me a little bit more than $5 for them, because after all, it's what I paid for them. So Hopefully I'll make a small profit on these. Bam! This stack is one of the first stacks of doujinshi. I did purchase a lot of inexpensive doujinshi in order to take to this comic show. Some of these, for example, this is a boy. I want to emphasize that. This is a boy. Don't delete my video because of this. This is not a girl. This is a boy. This is a Tokyo Revengers. No, it's not. This is a... Yes. This is a Boku no Hero Akademia Yaoi Doujinshi. We have a very attractive looking Full Metal Alchemist Yaoi Doujinshi. I also picked up a handful of additional TMNT Yaoi Doujinshi. I'm aware that Ninja Turtles is not a Japanese franchise. However, that's partially what makes Japanese TMNT Yaoi comics novel and unique. I've picked up some Kimetsu no Yaiba and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Yaoi Doujinshi. Personally, I am not a fan of yaoi. I don't dislike it. It's just outside of my wheelhouse. But I'm hoping that some of the people at the convention may find these interesting and be willing to purchase them. Similarly, because it's a comic show, things like this, Spider-Man and Deadpool Yaoi Doujinshi might be interesting to someone. I mentioned Turtles Yaoi Doujinshi. Have Haikyuu and Kimetsu no Yaiba Yaoi Doujinshi. This should be safe to show. I don't think that's terribly offensive. This is a Yuri on Ice Yaoi Doujinshi. As I mentioned, I'm not a big follower or fan of yaoi. However, I did think this cover had a certain cute appeal, so hopefully someone will find this interesting. Berserk Yaoi Doujinshi might be interesting to someone. I guess I can show this. I guess there's not really anything explicit on this Osamatsu-san Yaoi Doujinshi. Then, let's see. Alright, I'll keep that one on top. What we have here is a selection of these are all typical adult doujinshi. Many of them do have nudity on the cover, so I will keep that obscured. Similarly, there is also a Hatsune Miku hentai doujinshi that does have a clean cover. I don't know exactly what this particular doujinshi is. However, I hope you can distinguish why I was fascinated by it. The hybridization of Batman and Kiki's delivery service was so bizarre that I decided I had to have a copy of this for myself. Since we are going to a comic convention, I figured that perhaps original Japanese fan-created Spawn comics might be of interest to someone. Unfortunately, I was only able to get one copy of this book. I also picked up a handful of Transformers Yaoi Doujinshi. I guess by now it's established canon that Transformers do have genders, so I guess it is legitimate for there to be boy love Transformers. Straining. These are heavy. Yet another massive stack of doujinshi here. Let's see if any of these are particularly noteworthy, or if any of these are clean enough that I can reveal their covers on camera. Let's see. Alright, that's... yeah, probably not. Let's see. Alright, that one is. There's another Transformers yaoi book. This one is a Roy Mustang Full Metal Alchemist yaoi doujin. Alright, well, there's nothing particularly explicit on this doujinshi cover featuring Deadpool, Captain America, and some post-action activity. Here's yet another Transformers yaoi doujinshi. Let's see. This is actually two Shingeki no Kyojin yaoi doujinshi. This one is Spider-Man and Deadpool yaoi. Let's see. All right, well, that's all covered up. It's a handful of yaoi doujinshi. This one, the back cover is scantily clad, however fully clothed. Here's another selection of doujinshi. The top one is a Kimono Friends book that I may consider keeping for myself. I'll have to take a look at it first. Let's see. Let's see. Saito no Hanayome. This was the summer, Waiting in the Summer book. All right. There are two copies of the Persona book. This is a particularly nice book, so I bought one for my own collection and one that I'll put up for sale. Similarly, I believe one of the stories in this doujinshi is by Satoshi Yoshihara. I think it was Yoshihara, because whoever it was, there was a prominent doujinshi artist, so that's why I purchased one copy for my own collection and one to offer up for sale. Concore. Here is a Winter Soldier yaoi doujinshi. Actually, according to the back, it is / Steve and Bucky yaoi. Here's another JoJo's Bizarre Adventure yaoi doujinshi. This, actually, that cute. All right, this was, the cover is clean on this one. Another selection of doujinshi. I was not certain, actually, I was not certain when I purchased this Inju Kyoshitsu color anime book whether I already had a copy. I thought I did, but I wasn't positive, and I didn't bother to check for certain. I have confirmed more recently that yes, I do already have one copy of this in my collection, so this is a spare copy that I will offer up for sale. It's simply a full color adult anime book for a relatively obscure older title, which I personally think is interesting. I am censoring the boobies. I picked up a Yurikuma Arashi and a Sarazanmai anime guidebooks because I did not have books from either of these two titles, and both of these books were very, very inexpensive. Let's see, 400 yen and 200 yen. And remember that I add about $1.85 a piece in shipping. So those of you that have watched any of my previous videos or know anything about me know that my favorite anime is Dirty Pair, and I do collect as much Dirty Pair merchandise as I can. So I was pleased to find that this Dirty Pair school notebook became available. This is a notebook. The interior is just white lined paper for taking notes. I have 6 Dirty Pair school notebooks. This was not one of them, so this is now my 7th different Dirty Pair school notebook. I don't aggressively collect shikijiki, but I do have several hundred of them. I might have it might be pushing 1,000 of them. So when I find shikijiki, particularly based on franchises that I don't have a shikijiki from, I try to pick them up if they're affordable. I do have a fondness for Gal Force, and this is one of the Gal Force shikijiki that I did not previously own, so I wanted to pick this one up when I saw that it was available. I do not think I own a Patlabor shikijiki, so this one was relatively inexpensive and a nice design. I'm certain that I did not own a Dragon Half shikijiki, so I was happy to pick this one up to add to my collection and give me some representation. Well, that's interesting. I did not have a World Trigger shikijiki. I did not know that this one was semi-transparent. I think the ones that are semi-transparent are always a little bit interesting. They're a bit novel. I am not a huge fan of the 21 Emon anime television series from the early 80s. I have watched a little bit of it. It's skewed just a little bit too juvenile for my personal tastes. However, the opportunity to get a shikijiki from it at a very affordable price did pique my interest. I am a fan of Ixer 1. I do have a moderately sized collection of Ixer 1 merchandise, so I was happy to see that this vintage Ixer 1 shikijiki came in stock. Now this one was a little bit more expensive at 1,000 yen. However, considering its scarcity and its age, I don't mind at all paying that much for it. This is one of the magazines that I was very, very happy to acquire. I do think to myself that I perhaps am revealing enough information that I am compromising my own self-interests. However, at the same time, I see that an increasing number of American collectors are really catching on to the idea of acquiring Japanese manga first appearances. So making more people aware of that particular collecting niche might make finding first appearance manga more difficult for me, but I think that's going to happen regardless. This particular magazine, if you can tell from the bottom corner, contains the first chapter of Shin Takahashi's Saishuheiki Kanojo. So in other words, this is the manga first appearance of um, She, the Ultimate Weapon, or Last Little Love Song on This Planet. So this one just recently came into stock, and I'm happy that no one bought it before I was able to acquire it. Here, jeez, this is partially why this total shipment was over 99 pounds, because all these print doujinshi tend to be rather heavy. But once again, let's see if there's anything in here that I can show off. Here are two duplicates of a Linda doujinshi. Some of you may be familiar with the artist, however, I can't comfortably show you the entire cover. One copy of this is for my personal collection, one copy is to offer up for resale. Some more doujinshi, most of which I will offer up for sale at the comic convention. This, I believe, is not an adult doujinshi. I believe this is all ages. I will likely offer this one up for sale, but hopefully you can tell what made it attractive to me. The whole concept of the Marvel and Fate Grand Order crossover seemed very novel and interesting to me, and hopefully someone else at, for example, a comic convention will find this very fascinating. I apologize for sniffling. I have a moderate cold. Strictly speaking, there's no graphic nudity on this, so hopefully I won't get in too much trouble for showing this doujinshi. Perhaps revealing more about myself than I ought to. This one is for my personal collection. Similarly, you might see a theme running at this point. This Black Lagoon doujinshi is also for my personal collection. Some IMAS Love Live books. Urusei Yatsura is trendy once again, so I happened to pick up a Benten cover doujinshi along with a selection of others to offer up for sale. These are also a pair of Linda Circle doujinshi, one for my own collection and one that I will offer up for sale. This is Idolmaster, a Lyrical Nanoha doujinshi, Monogatari series doujinshi. This is, alright, that one I think is safe to show. This is probably I'm almost certain that is a Ragnarok Online yaoi doujinshi. Sorry, not yaoi doujinshi, H doujinshi. I picked up 2 copies of this because I intended to put one in my personal collection. I am extremely happy to have finally acquired a copy of Yoshitoshi Abe's first old home doujinshi. This is the first charcoal feather federation doujinshi. This is a copy of the very first Haibane Renmei doujinshi. The anime television series was based on Yoshitoshi Abe's self-published doujin comics. I've been trying to acquire a copy of this first issue for well over 10 years, so I'm very, very happy that I finally was able to get one. This one was 2,000 yen, so roughly $17, $18. For its significance to me and the length of time I've been trying to acquire one, I'm very happy to pay that amount for it. Let's see, more adult doujinshi. There's, all right, strictly speaking, no nudity on that cover, so I can show you that one. There is nudity on that one. Once again, well, all right. I'll cover up the butt crack. Once again, at the risk of revealing too much of my personal interest, this is a doujinshi that I purchased for my personal collection. There is also another doujinshi back here that I'm partially obscuring. Let's see. All right, that was. Some more of the doujinshi that I am likely to put up for sale at the comic show 2 weeks from now. The Miku one I may end up keeping for myself. I'll take a closer look at it. Alright, check this out. This I may or may not keep for myself. This is a particularly interesting doujinshi because this is drawn by Kota Hirano, the creator of Hellsing and Kekai Sensen, drew this. This is a self-published one-piece hentai doujinshi. So I'll take a look at this one. Just because of the uniqueness of this, I may end up keeping this one for my personal collection. All right. 3 more H doujinshi. This particular doujinshi is actually a volume 2. Unfortunately, volume 1 was sold out, but this is one that I purchased for my personal collection. This one is relatively clean cover. There should be one more Nawa no Ren Dirty Pair doujinshi. I finally have a near complete set of the Nawa no Ren Dirty Pair doujinshi. Without thinking too much about it, there are probably close to a dozen of these Dirty Pair doujinshi. I know that I think there are 8 numbered ones, and then there's a plus, there's a special. I believe there are 2 more side story books. These 2 are duplicates, however, they were relatively affordable, so since they were available, I decided to buy them as duplicates. In my quest to collect Dirty Pair doujinshi, I also picked up this Dirty Pair doujinshi. This one was 1,000 yen, so by Dirty Pair doujinshi standards, it's not terribly expensive. There are, hopefully I'm not making this too terribly boring, there are 2 more stacks of these and 1 figure remaining in this particular box. So I will try to go through this relatively quickly so I don't terribly bore everyone. Let's see, there's a clean cover. There's a Toho book. I don't know what that one is in particular. It may be original. I thought it had an interesting cover. Some more H Dojinshi. Let's see. Some more H Dojinshi. The top one is a Toei Robot Girls book, which I will likely keep in my personal collection. Sadly, you're going to have to censor most of this cover, but this is a book that I purchased for my personal collection. So is that. Let's see here. Another selection of H Dojinshi. This one, I'll have to take a look at to decide whether I'm going to keep this one for myself. This is a Dororo to Hyakumaru H Dojinshi. We have a Full Metal Alchemist Yaoi Dojinshi. This may be difficult to tell, but that is a Wolverine Dojinshi. The back is labeled as Logan and Peter. Is that Quicksilver? Probably. Yet another Berserk. I believe this one is conventional hetero. As I mentioned, there was a third Noa no Ren Circle Dirty Pair Dojinshi. That's clean. Another selection of adult Dojinshi. I am a fan of the Onechanbara video game franchise. These are 2 Onechanbara Dojinshi that I'll keep for my personal collection. This one is a volume 2. There should be a volume 1 somewhere in this shipment. The top book is a Queensblade Catalia book with a cover that I cannot put on camera. Can't put that cover on camera. This one's a little risque, but it's technically clean. I don't know if I should. Yeah, all right. Forgive me, I'm just going to keep this one off camera. I mentioned that there was another first volume Onechanbara Dojinshi. Adult cover. Alright, this one I can show. Some more. I don't know if I will offer this one up for sale or not. I'll have to take a look at it. This is not an adult Dojinshi. However, it is a very, very strange hybrid of Yuru Camp and Metal Gear Solid. So who would ever have thought to combine military espionage action with a girls' high school camping club in the same comic. That's why this is so bizarre. I simply had to have it. This particular book is a gift for my cameraman. So I'm going to hand that to him because I can't put the cover on camera. I apologize. Some more H. Dojinshi. This is, I believe, the first of 2 Gochika Dojinshi. I already have 2 copies of this, but I like hoarding, and this was very, very inexpensive. This is only 100 yen. So, because it was available, I decided I'd buy yet another copy of it. Ika Musume, H. Dojinshi, that's Kantai Collection, H. Dojinshi. Alright. This top one is a Moon Ruler Club Circle Tsukino Jogi reprint Dojinshi. That one on the top I will probably keep for my personal collection. Sword Art Online, Madoka Magica, Kantai Collection, Kantai Collection, Kantai Collection. I'm not sure what that one is. I don't remember if this is an adult book or not, but this is obviously a Fate and Deadpool crossover book, which makes it hopefully unique and interesting and appealing. Oops. All right, adult. All right, it's just gonna have to censor some covers here. I apologize. Another selection of adult Dojinshi. Technically, there's no nudity on this cover. So I will show the front of one of the more recent Saigato Circle Dojinshi. I've been collecting Saigato Dojinshi since the 90s. I have very, very close to a complete set of them. This was one of my needs. And the last item in this box is a Jujutsu Kaisen figure that I will put up for sale at the St. Pete Comic Con. So that concludes the first of 3 boxes. So I do want to mention that if anyone has any comments or questions that they particularly want to ensure that I see, I encourage you to contact me directly on my email address. I am a little older. I'm not especially social media conscious. So, as I mentioned, this video is not monetized. I don't have very many other social media accounts. So I do recommend that if you want to contact me for any reason, just feel free to send me an email message. So I hope that this video has given you some degree of entertainment or occupied some time for you. I hope that you'll tune back in for the next 2 videos when I open up the next 2 packages in this shipment. Thanks for watching.